I'm here doing a basketball informational speech, and I guess I'll introduce my audience first. This is Trayton, Brittany, Jasmine, Josh, and Easton. They're all high school seniors. Alright, so my speech is about basketball and the history of basketball and how it's adapted. And so you've all been to basketball games or played in basketball. You know what it's like, you know, like the kind of rundown of what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, well I'm just gonna go like just a little bit deeper in. And some of the couple things I'm gonna run over is James Naismith, the 13 original rules, and the first early on changes, which would be like the history of basketball, and then basketball today and how it's developed through like high school, college, and NBA. So the first person is James Naismith. James Naismith, he was born in 1861 in Almonte, Canada, which I think that's by Ontario, is that what it is? Ontario, yeah. And it's like a little township there in Canada. And he moved to McGill's High School and became the athletic director. And McGill's High School is in America, which he moved to. And that was in Mobile, Alabama. He became the athletic director there. But then later on, he came to Springfield, Massachusetts at the YMCA, which stood for then was the Young Men's Christian Association, and he taught PE there, and that's where he invented basketball. When he invented basketball, he was looking for like an indoor game to play with his kids that he taught in the winter because it was cold, he couldn't go outside, and so he invented basketball. And so the first 13 rules when he invented basketball was number 1, the ball may be thrown in any direction with one or both hands. Rule number 2 is the ball may be batted in any direction with one or both hands, but not with a fist. And then rule number 3, a player cannot run with the ball. He must throw it from spot on where he catches it. And now the rule, this one was kind of like the most lenient one out of the first one. So like if you caught the ball, you could take a couple steps as long as you're trying to stop. But other than that, you couldn't take any steps. You had to catch and pass. Always catch and pass. And so rule number 4, the ball must be held in the hands, not like under the arm or like in between your legs or whatever. And then rule number 5, you couldn't like shoulder, push, hold, trip, or strike an opponent. It would be a foul. And the second time that you did that, there wasn't like no fouls. You got 1 foul, and then the second time you got disqualified, and the other team got a point. And so rule number 6, which we went over, if you strike the ball with a fist, which you're not allowed to do, it would be considered a foul. And then rule number 7, if either side has 3 consecutive fouls, it'll count as a point. Rule number 8, a goal shall be made if the ball is thrown or batted off the ground into the basket. And if it stays on the rim or stays on the edge of the basket and the opponent moves it, they get the point. So if it gets stuck up there, you just, I don't know, I guess you had to sit there until it fell off. And then rule number 9, when the ball goes out of bounds, it should be thrown into the field of play of the person first touching it. So if the offense throws it out of bounds and the offensive guy goes and gets it, you can throw it right back in. There is no like, it goes to the other team. It's whoever got to it first, kind of like free-for-all deal. And then rule number 10, the umpire shall be the judge of the men and shall note the fouls and notify the referee when 3 consecutive fouls have been made. That way they know when to give them a point. Rule number 11, the referee shall be the judge of the ball and shall decide when the ball is in play, in bounds, and which side it belongs to, and other duties along that line, like keeping track of the score and all that. And rule number 12, it'll be 2 15-minute halves with 5 minutes rest and break, so short halftime. And then rule number 13 is the side making the most goals will be declared the winner. In case of a draw, the next team to make a point wins, as long as the captains agree on it. And so some of like the new rules and like the first couple of changes they had was originally they played with a peach basket. It was just a normal peach basket. So every time you made a shot, it would go up, like unhook the peach basket and take the ball out. And so that was just too time consuming. So they made like this wire woven rim, and that didn't last very long because it would like kind of dent in and all that. And so they switched to the iron rim in 1893. And then the first basketball was made in 1894. They originally played with a soccer ball. And then the first backboard was made in 1895. And a field goal was changed from 1 to 2 points in 1896. And the players were cut down from 9 to 5 in 1897. When basketball originally started, you could play with however many people you wanted. So like it could be like 50 on 50 if you really wanted it to. But like the original amount was like 9 players on one team, 9 on the other. And they finally cut it down to 5 in 1897. And then glass backboards came in 1909. And you couldn't dribble until 1909 as well. So you couldn't start dribbling the ball until 1909. It wasn't allowed. And then in 1945, you could sub unlimited. Before that, you could only sub 1 to 2 times, and then you couldn't re-enter the game. In-game coaching wasn't allowed until 1949. The three-point shot line was introduced in 1961. And now I'm gonna run over just how basketball is today with high school, college, and NBA. High school, some of like the differences they have is like, the three-point line is the closest. They have no shot clock. Their paint is the smallest, and the court is the smallest, and no restricted area, and they are like the biggest. College, it has many different levels, but like D1 is the main one. There's 2 halves, 20 minutes each, and they have a 30-second shot clock, and that's about it. And then the NBA, their three-point line's the farthest back. They have a 24-second shot clock, and their court is the biggest. All right, with my conclusion, I guess I was just going to talk about like how I enjoyed basketball, so that's why I wrote my paper on it. And I was just interested in like learning more on it with the history of basketball and the adaptations that it's gone through. So yeah.